get started. If this is your first time joining me, I'm going to go ahead and introduce myself. My name is LaTisha Styles. I am a marketing consultant for coaches. I work with fitness coaches, health coaches, business coaches, mindset coaches, success coaches. There's so many different titles these days, but in general, if you help your clients get a transformation, I can help you create and fill your coaching programs. I work with A players, the people who choose to work with me, and those that I choose to work with are on the top of their game. They know they're going to be successful, and it's just a matter of how quickly they will be successful. And so they work with me to get there that much faster and really shrink that timeline so they can see that success that they already see in their head, that they can see it in their physical reality. I create 6 and 7 figure earners. Many of my clients have gone on to generate 10K in 10 days, have multiple 5-figure launches, generate 6 figures and multiple 6 figures per year. And so I'm very excited to work with the type of clients that I work with, but also to help them achieve the results that they've achieved. And part of what we do is, helping to break through mental, subconscious, unconscious blocks and the things that are really holding you back from being successful. Because you could have all of the pieces and all of the ingredients, but if you don't have the recipe and you don't know how to put it together, then that's going to prevent you from seeing the success that you want. So that's part of what we're going to cover today. Today, what we're covering is how to create a high ticket coaching offer. So if you don't have a high ticket coaching offer, then you definitely want to be here. But even if you do, this is definitely a session that you don't want to miss. Okay. The reason that this session is important for you, whether you do or don't have a high ticket coaching offer, is because I'm going to help you rewire just a little bit. Number one, what your thought on high ticket is. And number two, how you can be even more effective by figuring out exactly what you want. I thought I wanted one thing, and then once I realized what I really wanted, that's when things started speeding up for me. Okay. So today what you're going to discover is, number one, why you must have a high ticket offer in your back pocket, whether you are or are not considered a high ticket coach. Hey, Keshna. Number two, you're going to discover what pricing is really high ticket and how to justify that price. So how do you justify that price? How do you make sure that you know the value and that your ideal clients know the value? And number three, why selling high ticket is easier than low ticket. I know that sounds a little bit crazy, but it's actually true. I'm also going to share where high ticket clients hang out. So if you're like, well, I can't find any high ticket clients, all the people who are coming to me are like low ticket Larrys. I'm going to share with you where they hang out and how you can start filling your networks with those high ticket clients. Before I get into that, I do want to share that this training is a part and will be a part of a course that I have, which is called Package and Profit. It's one of my best-selling courses. We sell, 5, 6, 10 copies every single day. And this program is a 4-part mini course, which takes you through each part of what I'm sharing with you today. I'm kind of giving you like the highlights and overviews, but there's like a single video for each one. And I also have workbooks, and I also share with you my high ticket sales scripts. If you are watching this video right now and you can hear my voice, I'm going to leave a link for you where you'll be able to get that at a special price. It's normally $197 for that program, and it pays for itself even at $197, because the goal is for you to get like just one high ticket client. And if you can do that, it'll pay for itself 10 times over. But if you can hear my voice right now, I'm going to give you a link so that you can go ahead and get it for a special price. I'm not going to say what the price is because it might change after this video ends, but I'm going to go ahead and give you a link to that. I will leave it in the description box for this video, where you can go ahead and get that for a special price, a super crazy discount. Okay, so I will definitely leave that in here once this recording ends, once this live actually ends. So you definitely want to come back to the video so that you can go ahead and grab that link. Okay, all right. So let's get started with number one, which is why you must have a high ticket offer in your back pocket. And let me know if you're team high ticket or team low ticket. I actually just did a video here on YouTube about that topic, talking about high ticket versus low ticket. In general, I'm team high ticket because I like every single one of my offers to have that value. I want them to have that feel of you stepping into a new vibration, stepping into that higher version of yourself. However, I do have plenty of low ticket offers, and my low ticket offers still have a high ticket feel, high quality feel. They're still packed with a lot of value, but there's definitely a specific strategy for my low ticket offers. Okay. So if you don't already have a high ticket offer, you definitely need to have a high ticket offer in your back pocket. We're going to get into what pricing is considered high ticket in just a second, but let's just talk about why you have to have a high ticket offer. Now, I usually try to not say stuff like you have to, you need to, you must, because for those of you who have joined me inside of Create and Fill Your Coaching program, you know that there are no rules and you can do whatever you want. Like, it's your business, it's your life, this is your manifestation, is you are, creating your own version of a lavish life. And if that includes high ticket, then it does. And if it doesn't, then it doesn't. But in general, most coaches need to have a high ticket offer, and here's why. You need to at least have a high ticket offer in your back pocket, whether you're actively promoting it or actively pushing it out there, because what it does is it helps you with your positioning. So for those of you who have worked with me before, you know that I'm all about helping you with your branding, your positioning, and getting you to the point where you can command a high ticket rate. If you are consistently offering everything at $17, $7, $27, $29, $97, $4.97, $2.97, whatever it is, if you're consistently offering those low ticket prices, what you'll do is you'll start conditioning your audience, and you'll start conditioning those people who are connected with you to expect that low price. And they will expect the world. And we're going to talk about how selling high ticket is easier than selling low ticket in just a little bit. But what you're going to do is you're going to manifest that version of your coaching business where almost the only thing you can do is sell a low ticket offer. And so I don't want you guys to get trapped into that, because at some point you're going to have a client that will come to you, and they're going to be this high quality client, and they're going to say, well, I want to work with you on this. And you're going to give them your pricing, and then they're going to look a little confused, and they're going to automatically associate that pricing with what they don't want, which is a massive transformation. So when you work with a high quality client and you give them a low price for a big transformation that they want, they're going to assume that low price is going to scare off that high quality client, because they're going to assume that either you don't know what you're doing, that you're new, that you can't actually help them, or that you're just trying to get their money and you're just throwing any price out. And so that's what's going to happen. And I don't want that to happen for you guys. I want you to recognize that high quality client. I want you to have your positioning in place where you can say, this is what I offer for a high ticket rate versus my low ticket. So I want to just kind of touch on that just a little bit more as far as separating out your offers. Because like I said, there's nothing wrong with having low ticket offers along with high ticket offers. I think that makes a very healthy business model to have both, where you have your low ticket offers, however you'd like to have those, or however many you'd like to have, however often you'd like to promote them. And then you also have your high ticket offers. I think that makes a healthy business model, because you are giving people at every point in their journey the opportunity to say yes to themselves, right? There's some people who are literally not at that point mindset wise where they can actually invest $20,000 in a high ticket offer. They're just not there. They just can't see it. It shocks them. It reverberates through their entire body, and it causes physical pain. We'll talk about that in just a little bit, but it actually, it causes them physical pain. And so, but they want to say yes to themselves. And for them, the first step for them might be a $27 or a $297 or a $997, or maybe they stepped up for, a $2,000 or they took the payment plan or whatever it is. But for them, that's the next step. And so what you're able to do is you're able to allow your clients to invest with you where they are in their journey. And what that does for them is it gives them the opportunity to continue moving forward. Now, the one thing you have to do is you have to be really careful with what you're offering at your low ticket versus what you offer in your high ticket, because the people who are in general are going to go for your low ticket offers are looking for more of like the practical versus the spiritual, like the large transformation. And so they want like, how do I actually create a Canva template? Like that's what they want versus like, how do I grow this business where I can impact thousands of people and hire out my Canva templates? Like that's your high ticket client, right? So you got to be careful what you're offering at each level, because you want to make sure that the person who purchases that lower ticket offer doesn't feel like they didn't get what they came for, because they're not quite ready for that next level. Otherwise they would have invested in it, right? So you just have to be careful that you are offering them what they need at this level in their journey. So you might notice that in my lower ticket offers, they're usually a lot more practical based, and they're a lot more based in like how to set up a funnel, how to create a high ticket offer, how to make a sale. Like it's very practical. Versus when I work with clients one-on-one and they get these massive transformations, or when I work with them in like a mastermind setting and they get these huge transformations, we're typically talking about the practical like 20 or 30% of the time. And the rest of it is shifting subconscious blocks, looking at what is actually in their way. And that's how they're able to get massive results so quickly. So that's the one thing that I want you guys to make sure that you're separating out your low ticket offers versus your high ticket offers, what's included in them and what you're putting in there. Obviously, you do want to make sure that you include some sort of spiritual or mindset work inside of those lower ticket offers, but you just want to be careful with how much of it you're offering. I remember seeing there was this lower ticket offer I purchased, and I thought it was amazing. Like it was like 80 to 90% was like about the mindset, and there was like 10 or 20% of practical. And I was like, oh, this is amazing. This is great. Like, I can't believe she's like offering this for such a low price. And there were so many people, there were a couple people, not a whole lot, but there were so many people who were like, I feel like I didn't get what I came for. Like, I just got a bunch of fluff. It's because they didn't get it. They weren't there yet. Right. So you just got to be careful there. Okay. Does that make sense? Let me know if that's making sense. So that's the first thing, is why you must have a high ticket offer in your back pocket, because it absolutely allows you to speak to that high quality client that you know is going to come there, and allows you to make sure that your positioning is in the right place for them. All right. So the next thing that I want to cover is what pricing is really high ticket and how to actually justify that price. So I actually want to hear from you guys. What is a high ticket price for you? Give me your guess, your first guess, first number that pops into your head, first thing that you're like, okay, I know this is high ticket. You can give me your high ticket price if you want, or you can just throw out what you think a high ticket price is. And I know there's a delay, so I'm gonna give you guys a second to answer. I check these text messages real quick, which they were the texts that I sent saying that I was live. Okay, good. All right, we got 5,000, 3,000, 2,400, 3,000, another 3,000. Okay, so it's interesting that we're actually kind of in that range of 3,000 is where we start seeing a high ticket offer. All right. Would you be surprised if I told you that a high ticket offer is not really high ticket until it's around the $10,000 mark? This was a surprise to me when I first learned it. I was like, oh yeah, $3,000, like that's huge. So I'll take you guys back to when I first started my coaching, and I was charging $800 for 8 weeks. How many of you would like that pricing right now from me if I were like, okay, great, $800 for 8 weeks for one-on-one coaching? It ain't here anymore. But I was doing $800 for 8 weeks, and I went to my coach at the time, And I was like, am I charging enough? Because that was my very first thing, is like, am I charging enough? Am I not charging enough? Like I was fine. Like I was making sales. And she was like, oh, wow, you're really low. You need to, bring that up. You need to double it. And I was like, oh my gosh, $1,600. Like who's going to pay $1,600? And so I can change my prices real quick. And I was like, who's going to pay $1,600? And so I was like, okay, fine. Well, actually, I'll do you one better and I'll jump to $2,000. And I thought that was a high ticket price. And if you have seen my YouTube video on how I manifested my very first high ticket coaching client, that video talks about that story where I changed my prices to $2,000. The very next person that came to work with me, I was like, okay, well, it's $2,000. And I think I surprised myself because there was an immediate yes. It was like, okay, great, let's do it. And I was like, wait a minute, what? You mean I was charging $800 and I could have just been charging $2,000 this whole time? And the key is that when you're, once again, going back to it, when your rates reflect the value that you bring and you know how to justify that value and that client can see that value, it makes sense to them. If I were to say, yes, I can help you with that and it's only $800, they would look at me like, really? Like, do you really know what you're doing? So that's why we got to make sure that our pricing reflects the value that we're actually offering. And from there, after I, set my rates to $2,000, I didn't even ask my coach for permission anymore. I was like, well, let me just look at the value that I'm offering and what sort of transformation am I helping my clients achieve? And then let me just go from there. So as I continue to get results for clients, tangible results and intangible results, which I talk about a lot, as I continue to get those results, I just continue to increase and raise my rates until I found what I felt like was a happy medium, and I kind of hung out there for a couple of years. So your high ticket price in general is going to start around $10,000. Now, usually people pop up and they say that, $2,500 to $3,000, because that's usually where your marketing needs to shift from like a sales standpoint. So for example, if you're doing a webinar in general, if you're going to sell something for more than $2,000, then that's when you need to start going to a phone call. But if it's less than $2,000 or around that $2,000 to $3,000 mark, that's where you can sell directly from the webinar. So that's usually why people start thinking, okay, it's a high ticket offer because I'm getting on the phone, but that's not necessarily true. And you also don't need to get on the phone for every high ticket offer or for any high ticket offer. It's all about what you choose and what you decide that you want to do in your business. So I want you to start thinking right now, like, what could your $10,000 offer be? And it's likely that you already have the offer, but you just don't know how to position it and how to actually justify that price. So that's what I want to cover right now in the second part of step 2, which is, or part 2, which is what pricing is really high ticket and how to justify that price. People buy because of two things. Because they believe that you can get them the results that they want. And they believe that they can get the results that they want with you, and they believe they can get the results they want through your vehicle. So it's those two things. It's like, yes, what she does works, and yes, I need to work with her to do it. That's why they buy specifically from you. And it's always based on an emotion. Like, I'm excited, I'm pumped, I know that this is going to work, or I'm confident. Like, there's always an emotion behind it. But if they don't believe that they're going to get the results, and they also don't believe that you're the one that can help them get the results, then they won't actually make that investment. So that's how you justify the price. That's it. Can you actually help them get those results? And is it a big enough problem that you're solving, right? If you're solving a problem with like helping people with their toe fungus, like maybe that's not a big enough of a problem. I don't know. It might be for some people, but maybe that's not a $10,000 problem, right? But you have to figure out what's that $10,000 problem that you're helping people to solve. And a lot of times you're too close to it where you're like, well, I don't know if this is enough value because I was able to do it for myself so easily, or I'm able to do it for my clients so easily. It only takes me 5 minutes, or it's just this much, or it's only this. Like, no, you have to stop minimizing the transformation. Like, just because it only takes you a little bit to do it doesn't mean that it's not a big transformation. So you have to get clear on that, getting clear on that transformation. We do that inside of Create and Fill Your coaching program. It's also inside of Package and Profit to an extent. So there's some of that in there. And obviously I work with my clients on that all the time. So one of my clients I was recently working with, we worked together one-on-one, and she had a brand new coaching program that she wanted to fill. It was a group coaching program. This was her first time even launching it. And, she was a little bit concerned about the price that she chose. And we worked a lot, like several of our sessions and several conversations over our private messenger app, our voice app that we use, were talking about the pricing and getting her confident in that, and not wavering in it, and visualizing that person who was that high quality client. So the first couple of calls that she got and people who were interested, they were like, that's too much. That's too much. And so we had to have more conversations. I was like, well, are you confident in the price? Do you believe that it's worth this much? Is that transformation worth that much? Like, we had to go back to that again. And then after we had that conversation, it was like, boom, next one, sale, boom, next one, sale, boom, next one, sale. And she filled her very first coaching program with 4 clients at her rate that she never would have been charging before had we not started working together. And so that's a huge thing, is that you have to be able to justify that price. You have to be confident in it. Okay. All right. The next thing that I want to go into is why selling high ticket is easier than selling low ticket. And then I'm going to share with you where the high ticket clients hang out and how you can start filling your networks with them. All right. Why is selling high ticket easier than selling low ticket? A lot of times clients come to me and they're like, well, I'm just going to price, and I can't stand that word, just. I'm just going to price it for this, right? Like, I'm just going to charge this much because, and like, they don't justify it yet. They're like, yeah, I think I'm just going to charge this. And so when I kind of push back a little bit and I'm like, okay, well, why did you choose that? Then there's a reason of, well, I think that's what people are willing to pay, or I think that, like, if it's anything other than that feels good and I'm excited to charge that, then I make them change it, and usually we double it for the first thing. I want to get you excited and like pumped up about the pricing. If your pricing, if that investment to work with you doesn't feel expansive, if it doesn't light you up, you will not make sales. And so that's why in general, it's easier to sell high ticket than it is to sell low ticket, because imagine how good it feels when you get like a payment notification that's a couple $1,000s and you're like, wow, that felt really good. You're excited to deliver for those clients. You're excited to provide them with the support that they need and help them get that transformation that they want. Like, that feels really good. It lights you up. And so what you don't realize is that there's a lot under the surface that's at work when you start following those feelings, the feel good feelings. Like, that's exactly what you want to do at a cellular level. Like, your cells want to feel good. Your body wants to feel good. Your brain wants to feel good. You get that dopamine release, like all of those things that feel really good. That's what you actually want every day, day in, day out. You actually don't want to feel bad. You want to feel good. So if your pricing doesn't light you up and it's not going to make you feel good at a subconscious, unconscious level, you could be subconsciously blocking even making sales at what you think is high ticket, because you are like, okay, yeah, I'm going to price this at $3,000 or $5,000 because that feels good. But it actually doesn't feel good to you because you know how much work is going to go into it, how much energy you're putting out. And like, the clients that you've been getting, even at that level, are like still not putting in the work. And you're like, oh, like, this is so frustrating. Why is this still not working? And you're not hitting the income that you want to hit because you actually don't want it. Like, I remember when I changed up my pricing to $4,500 for an 8-week program. And I got, a couple clients that, we were doing well. And then I was like, man, this is a lot of work. Like, this is a lot of energy. I'm putting out so much. And then I was seeing the results that they were getting, like, you know, generating 18K in 2 weeks. And I had another client who like doubled his rates, and then like he made his entire investment back in a couple weeks. And I'm like, man, I'm putting out a lot of energy for $4,500. And so that's when I was like, all right, great, we're going to bump it up. And then lo and behold, boom, I continued to book clients at that higher rate, because that's what my body and my cells and my inner being and what I actually wanted. So I want you to really evaluate what your high ticket offer is, because if you're still like kind of sure on the pricing, but like you have a happy number. If you change it to that happy number, I want you to pay attention to how you feel. And that's likely going to be the number that's going to be best for you. So let me know if you can still see me and hear me okay. The last thing I see is Jill's comment. So I just want to make sure that we're still going, we're still live. Okay. The one thing that, if you don't have this in place already, one thing that is going to help you to be a lot less stressed about your high ticket is having a low ticket process in place where you're generating income from your low ticket offers, like passively. Can y'all still hear me? Okay, good. All right. Hi, Daniel. Welcome. All right, good. The other reason that selling high ticket is easier than selling low ticket is because typically for your low ticket offers, you have to write like full sales pages. And I was actually in one of our group coaching sessions that I'm hosting right now, a group coaching program on running Facebook ads. And I responded to someone, hey, Candy. And I was like, you're going to have to write a much longer sales page for that offer. The offer was like $49, I think. And I was like, you're going to need a full sales page. And she was like, I need a full sales page to sell something that's $49. And I'm like, yeah. You know why? Because someone who is purchasing something low ticket, they really want to make sure that they get their money's worth, and they're going to read that entire thing. And then they're going to be like, wow, this is way more than $49. I'm going to buy this right now. And so in general, your low ticket is going to require more sales copy. It's going to require more email sequences. Like I have a super long email sequence for You've Got Clients, and that's considered a lower ticket offer because right now it's only priced at $2,000, I think. And I have like a super long sales sequence for that versus my high ticket offers. I speak with a client once and they sign up and get going, and it's so much easier. So I want you to start thinking about that as well. Like, yes, it's going to take some work to like sell your low ticket offers. So it's better if your active hours are spent towards doing the stuff that brings in high ticket clients versus like focusing on like, if I can just sell 500 of these at $49, like I hate those little graphics that are like, here's how to make $10,000 a month. You can sell one thing at $10,000. You can sell two things at $5,000. You can sell 10 things at $1,000. You can sell, 10,000 things at $1. And I'm like, why would you want to spend your time trying to figure out how to sell 10,000 things at $1 when you could just sell two things at $5,000 or one thing at $10,000? And then let's blow past $10,000 a month. And then let's go towards what you really want, which is being able to create a six-figure personal income, not just for your business. And let's get there with 20K, 30K, 40K months at a minimum. Okay. Next thing that I want to share is where the high ticket clients hang out and how you can start filling your networks with them. So once again, I do go into each of these topics a lot deeper inside of Package and Profit. I will be leaving a special link for some special pricing. Once this recording ends, I'm going to leave the link at the top. It's going to expire based on this live time because I'm using a deadline funnel in order to deliver that. But I will put the link in there and you'll be able to grab it today at the special price. Okay. There was a question that popped up and I missed it. So let me see if I can get back to it real quick. Would you consider selling our VIP program to buyers without independent coaching support? Consider selling our VIP program to buyers without independent coaching support. I don't know. I'm not sure if I understand that question. without independent coaching support? If you can explain that just a little bit more so I can answer. I'm not sure I understand it. Okay. Hey, Amanda. She says, I was waiting on a different page. So glad to be here this morning. Good. Well, I'm glad you're here too. I have a message to deliver and you're here because you needed this message. So I'm glad you're here. All right. And Helia, if you can kind of restructure that a little bit, I'm happy to answer that question. Okay, so I want to share, where do high ticket clients hang out? How do you start filling your networks with them? Because that's usually the question that I get. It's like, all right, I'm going to change my prices. Let me go change my prices. Like, I'm good. But where do I find these high ticket clients? Number one, you got to change your circle. Okay. Let's see, just the program by itself. So as far as structuring the program, you can sell your coaching program along with coaching. You can sell the course along with coaching. You can sell just coaching by itself. Like, you can structure any way that you like. And we talk about that a lot more in Create and Fill Your Coaching Program, like how to actually create the program. Okay. And yes, you can set high ticket prices when you're just starting out. It's all about being clear on the value that you offer. Okay. So where do high ticket clients hang out? It's a matter of up leveling your circle. If you are constantly hanging out in free Facebook groups, like there's one group that's like 20,000 people, and free Facebook groups have their place, right? But if that's where you are and you're like, I'm going to find my high ticket clients in here, in general, they're not spending their time hanging out in those Facebook groups. They're actually doing stuff versus like spending all day in a Facebook group. Okay, so you have to up level your circles. And what the big secret that I tell my clients is like, go invest in something that's a little bit higher level and you'll automatically up level your circle. So here's how this works with my retreat, for example. So the Royal Retreat is something that I do every year. Not sure if we're doing it this coming year. It's going to depend on how everything is going with COVID and all of that. But at the retreat, I specifically choose and curate I'm going to be on that retreat. And I do it because my goal is to help them to make those connections that will last them for months and years to come. And the retreat is not a low ticket investment, right? It is definitely a high ticket investment. And so everyone who comes on the retreat, my goal is for them to not only have that vibrational shift, to up level, to step into that new version of themselves, to assume the throne, right? That's why it's called the Royal Retreat, but to also like make those connections with those other clients. So and I love when this happens, but one of the clients that came on the retreat, she was talking through, exactly what she does. And then the next statement came from someone else that was like, oh, I think that's what I need. And we had just worked on her new pricing at the retreat. So it was very transparent. That person already knew what her new rates were. And they were like, yes, I want to do it. Let's do it. And so that's the thing. Like, when you get into the energy of other movers and shakers, of other people who are investing at the level that you want to invest at, who are working with coaches that you already know you want to work with, who are doing things in their business that you know you want to do. Like, when you put yourself at that level, you're in the same room, it's a lot easier to work with high ticket clients. Plain and simple. Because there's going to be the thing that you're good at that they're not good at. And even though you guys are at the same level, maybe financially, or maybe depending on where you are, like relationship wise or whatever it is, there's going to be something that you're good at that they need. And who do you think they're going to work with? The person who's hanging out in the free Facebook group dropping value bombs? No, they're going to work with you because they already know you, they met you, and they trust you. Like, that's the biggest thing, is getting people to trust you. And they also know that you're already playing at a certain level. So they're going to assume that you have a high ticket offer that is a big transformation for them. And this is a secret that a lot of people, unfortunately, just don't realize, especially those who are still charging like a low ticket rate or think that they have high ticket rates. A lot of them just don't realize that they need to step into that next level, step into that next investment level. And it's not like you got to invest $20,000 before you can charge $20,000. Like, that's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is there's a certain room that you're just not in. until you have taken that step to put yourself in the room. That's it. Earlier this year in January, I was in Jamaica with a couple of my clients, people who I have worked with before, so they have been clients, but we're also connected on like a friendship level. And so we decided to do a business getaway, a mini mastermind, because there's areas where they're amazing at that I'm still not good at, and there are areas that I'm great at that they're still not good at. And so we decided to work together. I call it a 7-figure business mastermind because we had 7-figure, multiple 6-figure business owners in the same room together. And there was just so many synergies that were there. There was one comment that was like, hey, I need this. Who can I work with? Like, oh, you should work with this person. And it's like that referral for that other person who wasn't even in the room is worth thousands for them because they knew somebody who was operating at that level. And so like, that's how you start filling your networks with the people you want to work with. And that's where I will make strategic investments. I don't just invest based on the knowledge that I need. I invest based on the network that I need, just to be honest. So you might notice, well, obviously you don't know all of the investments that I make, but when I work with mentors, I work with coaches, I'm looking at who do I want in my networks? Who do I want to be connected with? And that's just how I do it. And that's how it's done. Honestly, like I'm not even going to lie to you. That is how it's done. There's a reason that certain people will pay $100,000 to sit in a dinner where a meal is like costs them $50 maybe, but they're going to spend $100,000 for that chair. Why? Because they want to be at the table where millions are made, plain and simple. Okay. Okay. Any questions? I feel like I did a great job. I wanted to finish at 12:45 and it's 12:43. And I feel like I've delivered everything that I came here to deliver. So if there's questions that you have, let me know. I'm happy to answer them. Someone asked about, can I charge high ticket prices if I'm just starting out? I answered that already, but I want to go just a little bit more into that. If you are just starting out and you're not clear on the transformation that you offer, I recommend that you work with one client for free. Get that testimonial, get really clear on who you want to work with, the transformation that you offer, and then you can go from there. Okay. And I think that was the, Cammie repeated the question, but I think that was the question as well. Okay. The only thing that will prevent you from charging a high ticket price when you're first starting out is your own belief. And that's with wherever you are right now. The only thing that's going to prevent you from earning what you want to earn is your level of belief. The only thing that's going to prevent you from being in the rooms you want to be in is your level of belief. If you believe that you're not worthy, you're not worth it, you don't have the value, then that's what's going to stop you. And that's why when I work with clients, that's the main thing that we work on, is working on their subconscious beliefs, the blocks and things that are in the way and what's preventing them. I was just editing a client transcript from a success call because I was working on my one-on-one coaching page to kind of put that on there. And inside of the success call, he said, I came to you because of the tech that you're really good at, like creating systems and funnels and all of that, but I left with so much more. He said, you really helped me work on my mindset. You told me to raise my rates, and I did. And then I booked 2 clients at my new doubled rates. And he said the thing that got me wasn't that of those results, but it was because he said, I've worked with coaches before, but it was just something about how you helped me shift that block was what actually helped me get those results. So yes, you can have all of the pieces, you can have all of the ingredients, but if you don't have the recipe, if you do puzzle box, it's gonna be difficult to put that puzzle together. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed